Obstacles come in many shapes and sizes. Identifying obstacles and possessing the right tools and talent to safely overcome them is, simply put, what we do day in and day out. An obstacle of considerable proportions presented itself to the Deep South team at a refinery in Toledo, Ohio. The challenge? To move a 370-ton reactor and a 180-ton third-stage separator through the refinery, where spatial constraints such as live pipe racks and underground utilities offered little room for error. Deep South explored several methods for navigating these vessels through the plant to their final destination, ultimately concluding the most cost-effective and time-efficient method was to jack and slide the vessels 800 feet under the pipe racks. Due to how tight the job was, we had to use special attention to ensure the track was laid just right. By utilizing the track along with our steel track mats, we were able to meet the stringent 1,750 pounds per square foot ground-bearing pressure requirement. Challenges such as a drastic change of scope, tight clearances, and scheduling required extensive engineering, thorough planning, and ultimately meant that the Deep South team had to get innovative with their existing equipment and design a state-of-the-art jacking system. Deep South brought the vessels into the plant on two double-wide SP&T transporters, where they maneuvered into positions south of the pre-assembled skid track. The reactor was jacked up first. To get it off the transporter, the Deep South team designed and installed a new 520-ton jacking system at 4 strategic points under the reactor saddles. Cribbing stacks were made out of Eki wood timbers, which have a large bearing capacity and are most importantly safe when used in these applications. Shims with handles were also custom built and used to create clearance, so that the boards could be removed safely while the reactor was being jacked down. These handles ensured that no one placed their hands in a pinch point. Steel pads were also used beneath the cribbing stacks, as well as beneath the length of the slide track, which mitigated the maximum ground-bearing pressure threshold. With the 520-ton climbing jack system installed, the cribbing stacks in place, and the weight of the load spread out across the steel pads, the SP&T transporter pulled out. The Deep South team worked to build 20-foot sections of their skid system under each side of the reactor before it was jacked down. Utilizing the jack system and removing the Eki boards, the team was able to lower the reactor until its saddle pockets were on the heavy-duty skid shoes. The innovative saddle pocket design ensured that the reactor stayed 2.25 inches off the ground. This clearance allowed the reactor to interface with the skid system, and most importantly make it under the 2-inch clearance that it had to pass through. Height clearance was not the only clearance challenge, however. Along the way, there were points where the width clearances were no more than 1.5 inches. While the reactor was skidding into the plant, the Deep South team jacked the TSS down onto the slide system to begin its move through the pipe racks. With the vessels off the transporters and safely on the slide system, the Deep South team faced an 800-foot slide using only 300 feet of track. To make this work, they utilized a hopscotch technique. The grade they faced fell approximately 6 feet over a 200-foot run. Due to multiple points of exposure, safety was the paramount concern, so a gradual grade was used to navigate the fall, and a hydraulic holdback system was also used to ensure the safety of everyone involved. The vessels were skidded to the top of the grade. Here, the Deep South team went to work installing the skid track in front of the vessels down the grade. The slide down the grade required the team to continuously pick up track from behind the vessels and install it in front of them. This hopscotch technique was the most efficient way to skid these large vessels. By splitting apart the 10-axle double-wide SPMTs that were already on site from the hull, Deep South was able to move multiple 20-foot pieces of track at a time. During any large slide, safety is a big concern, so the Deep South team used 4 cylinders on each vessel, 2 on the front saddles and 2 on the rear. At any given time, only 2 of these cylinders were loose to facilitate the slide. This ensured the safety of the team and the integrity of the vessels by keeping them from breaking friction and sliding freely down the track. On the other side of the grade, the Deep South team navigated the final pipe rack clearance and skidded the vessels out into the clear area. Here, the vessels had to be jacked up again 5 feet, so that the team could remove the slide system from underneath and the vessels could be placed back on transporters to be prepared for the move to the crane hook. All major components used to make this job a reality were of Deep South design and manufacturing. The project wrapped with 0 injuries and 0 recordable incidents. It required considerable innovation in engineering, the relentless dedication of our team in the manufacturing shop, and the crews on the ground. On every job, these factors combined yield nothing short of superior ground-bearing pressure capabilities, coupled with the unique ability to combine custom-fit heavy-duty equipment to each phase of a project in a cost and time-effective manner. No matter the task, no matter how imposing the obstacle, Deep South's roster of talent and extensive fleet of cranes, transporters, and specialty equipment is here to rise to the occasion.